Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Took a quick break. There's Muzzy Must. What have we got? It's a John Deere square baler and squares. If you notice in the back, there's a New Holland square baler unhooked. And if you notice over there on that 4020, it's a JIK square baler. I'm not gonna say too much. We're gonna go give it a whirl. But we got the John Deere hooked up. That's it. I'm not saying anything. We're gonna go try it. So we'll be right back. Got 2 more to do. John Deere, baby. There's a reason they're number 1. Come on. You guys are doing a good job back there. Keep up the good work. Just remember, somebody's got to do it. Just so happened to be me. Guess I drew the short straw. Shucks. Square baling in the dark. Old 24T, getting her down in the dark. Thank goodness the 4440's got good LED lights on it. Good job, boys. This is so much fun. Their best jack, yeah, look at that thing. Dang, that looks awesome. I think it's because I started it. Packer in there tight. 24T, getting her done. So this was a pretty epic story. So we got this 24T baler here, all right? We literally pulled this out of a neighbor's barn for the first time in like who knows how long, at least 20 years. It's our landlord's baler. It was down at his neighbor's house, tucked in a shed. This thing had stuff all over it. It was tucked in this little kind of weird corner, like literally junk all over it. The thing has not been used for so long. Basically, High Roller has a New Holland baler that he's been running for 2 years. New Holland baler, this big thing that spins. There's a couple friction plates in there, and they're totally worn out, so it was just slipping. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to. He called up his buddy looking for something to square bale with. His buddy has a case, which was actually his future father-in-law's before. Kind of ironic. So we used the case, ran about 4 bales through it, and then it just wouldn't tie knots. It just was not working. We kind of were about to throw in the towel, say, all right, guess we're not doing square stalks this year. And I kind of knew that our landlord had one, and we're like, hey, you know, what's the chances of using your baler? And he was like, oh, I just come get it. Just go try it. We went over there, dug it out, fired it up. The thing just ran smooth and did pretty good. So we're pretty stoked. Right, high roller. Only thing this Deere baler has wrong with it, I'll show you here. Here on the knotters, there's 2 of them. And on the left side, right there, the cast is cracked. So every time that plunger would basically come back, this would just kind of separate. So about every 5th bale or so, it wouldn't tie. But other than that, the thing worked like a dream. Oh, I should have brought some corn. You look good, girl.
Yeah, they hear a bag open.
You look good.
Right here, push your way to the front.
Oh, yummy. Crunch. Potty break. Bear. Get that one. There's one more. Get him. He's right there. Get him. There you go. Next morning, got the elevator up. Gonna put all these corn stalk bales up in this barn. We're gonna have a great time. 732 hours. She's brand new. You know, you guys could help. You know that's right. Entertaining.
Yep.
There you go, ladies. Get your fall hay rack rides. Maybe not exactly what you expected, but better than nothing, eh? Last bale. Plump. Ah. Woo! Larry's in the skid loader. Larry, living like Larry.
You put a pin in?
Yeah. Make sure you put the nut on it. It'll flop all around. This is how you learn.
Oh, that's awesome. So you got strokes there. Look at him.
What Megan still has that nut in her hand. Okay, good.
Set that down. That's gone.
She's got her.
This is so gentle. Oh, there we go. She reached the nut. She can't get her phone. She can't get her pocket. Phone in her pocket.
It's in her hand?
It's gonna be an operation.
fun project. Right there, you can kind of see there's a hole in the ground. These little terraces here, the grass is. See out in the field. These have been getting silted in, plugging up my tile, so I'm digging it up, and then we're gonna put some waterways in on this farm, wherever they need to be up on these hillsides. I'm gonna show you the process on how this goes down. Dig it up, you either rejoin it or you plug it off, because usually these run up to the next one. So we want to make sure that tile's connected. But sometimes they kind of go off on kind of a little, like a Y. So if you just plug off what you take out, and then that tile's running maybe 10 feet away, kind of like they have a little wishbone on them. We're gonna dig this up. Here's what's going on. So we dig up, dig down. You got this orange intake that goes into this boot, and then it connects into the tile that we're going to dig down there by hand a little bit. Here's what happens. You get full of dirt. It gets in your tile, plugs it. So we're taking these out. You can see what grows on terraces. A lot of maintenance to these. This farm's pretty flat. But we're going to dig this up by hand right here. And we're going to find the tile. And we're going to put this cute little cap on it. And you're going to see it all happen here before your eyes. Here lies the problem. Pulled this out. Look at the tile. Completely full of mud and silt. Well, that's probably down there a little ways. It'll clean itself out, hopefully. Instead of digging down, because that could be like 20 feet to where the tile goes, we just put this cute little plug in there. Sometimes they're not real cute. It's kind of hard to get it. Try to give you a good angle here so you can see what we're doing. Yeah, you gotta get right down in there. You can kind of hear them pop in place. So you know it's in there good. Feel pretty good about that. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's in place. We'll fill the hole back in with dirt. Now one would probably say, you probably should dig that up. You know what? I could spend 4 hours digging that up. That mud's already in there. It'll dry up. This isn't draining a big area. If we have problems down the road, we just fix it as they come, because you could spend a whole day out here searching that out, and you could make more of a mess than when you started. Now, I do need to apologize to Paul at the hardware store. I buried my spade last night. I think I know where it is. I'm gonna go back and look for it. But for today, we're using the sand shovel. So sorry, Paul, but I will have to buy another spade from you. One thing I wanted to add to the story, I'm down 5, almost 6 feet there. Completely black dirt. Yeah, that's central Iowa soil for you. Now, not all of our farms are like that, and that could be part of too. When they dug this, they might have filled it with black dirt, so it drained good around but no clay in there. I haven't really found much clay at all, very little. Good soil here on Central Iowa Farm. So anybody out there that appreciates that, kudos. Thank you, the man in the sky, for giving us good black soil to raise beautiful and high yielding crops. That hole is done. I put about 3.5 feet of dirt back on it, because when I come back here, I'll mow off the terraces, get some of that grass shredded up, so when I bulldoze that out in the field level, it'll all be nice and deteriorate. Otherwise, I'll have that long grass stemmy foxtail, and I don't want that. So I don't fill the hole completely quite in, or fill the hole completely in. So when I'm coming back with a bulldozer, you can kind of see that there's about 2 feet of open hole there. So that way it's a gauge. So I know my tile's about 3.5 feet deep, and I won't go too deep, because you would want to bulldoze these out and then only have the tile be like 2 feet deep. There you go. That's 101, digging up a tile intake, plugging it off, and letting nature go back to its normal work. Really check this out. So grass terrace right here to there. We extended this waterway up here several years ago. We're gonna take this terrace out here. So what it does is it builds up the water, and this is what happens. It ruins the intake, it silts in, Now the water's just gonna naturally flow in the waterway, so you won't get all that silt in the tile. This one, I'm guessing we're gonna have to reconnect the tile. This one has a waterway up there and a waterway going that way. 4-inch tile coming down there, which is right here, which is actually pretty clean. We'll dig back by hand, get to a good clean one. Then it comes down to this one here, which is about 1.5 feet lower. Those two wide in. The intake was right here, and that goes down to the waterway on that way. When we bulldoze this one out, that hole there, or that tile, is pretty shallow. So I'm gonna kind of stay at grade, and I'll try to move the center of my waterway, you know, over this way a little bit. So we'll go from here. I got the hole dug about 8-10 feet wide. We'll try to put the center over here a little bit, and that'll join up with the waterway on the other side of the terrace, which you can't see. That's why I dug this one up. I'm kind of losing my daylight here. We'll resume this in another day or so. And here's another thing for all you guys that run backhoe. Don't put junk clay back in the hole, because when you're digging and looking for stuff, it's always a false alarm. You know, it gives you a warning, but yet it's just, don't do it. I've done it. I've seen people do it. It's a bad idea. So we really try not to do it. Later on.